when you discover a new software, the first question you're going to ask yourself is, do I really need this software? So this tutorial is about convincing you that Zotero is a really cool application that is going to make your life much easier. So I'm going to present you with 3 or 4 arguments. So the first one is that Zotero is going to save you from a lot of manual work. For example, for my PhD, I had about 200 references, and I only had to type manually myself about 4 or 5. Everything else, I went on online databases and I got the references automatically. I extracted the data from Amazon, from ScienceDirect, from PubMed. I'm only presenting the arguments just a little bit. You have to go see the tutorials I've prepared to understand better. So you get the data. Let's go to Amazon, for example, and then I need a specific work. This is for books, but I mostly work with journal papers, so I can just get it here, and then I've got the reference already saved. So this is a really cool way of doing something, and the less you type, the less mistakes you make, which is the most important. And then a second argument is that Zotero allows you to work on different computers without having to extracting data or exporting data from one computer to another. For example, normally you would have to export your data from this computer and send them by email to yourself, or put them on a USB flash drive, and then go to a new computer and import the data from the USB drive and start working. And then if you modify the database, you have to again save it on your USB key, come back to this computer, and then import the data. What Zotero does is that if you create a new account on Zotero, on the Zotero server, you can send all the data. You can always have your computer synced with the server. So all my data here is on the Zotero server. So when I go to the new computer, I just log in with my data, with my identification data, and then I get all of this on the new computer. So without doing anything, I can keep working on the database, and then I just sync. It sends everything to the server. I come back home, I sync, and I get it all back. So it's quite fast, quite efficient. A third argument is when you type your text and then you have to insert a bibliography or a citation. When you do it by hand, you can very often make a mistake, a typing mistake, or sometimes when you've got a citation that has, for example, 4 authors, some journals are going to say, okay, you have to use only the first author and then use the et al. That can change from one journal to another, and sometimes you have to use all 4 of them. And then so this is quite painstaking. Imagine having a journal rejected by, so you finish a paper, you submit it somewhere, it gets rejected, and you have to resubmit to another journal. But each journal uses different bibliographic styles, so each time that means you have to take the entire document and restructure it and reformat the in-text citations, and that is, believe me, quite painstaking, and you can make a mistake, of course. And then the last argument is that it's about the bibliographic references here. So, for example, I did everything automatically, of course, so I've got the authors, the year, and etc., etc. So it is Zotero that is going to decide the order. So the styles each journal has its Zotero style, bibliographic style. They prepare it so you just install it and it is going to order the data here, author, year, title, journal, etc. in its own way as it's supposed to be, so you have less work to do. For example, some journals are going to say do not put this in italics. Some will go to say do not use the DOI. Some will say you need the PP dot before before indicating the pages, etc. So all of this is not up to you. If you use if you're going to submit your journal, the journal is going to decide how you're going to present the data. So Zotero can do that for us. So you only have to create your database, and that's it. And then you just create your bibliography. You just insert your bibliography, and everything is as it is supposed to be. So it does everything for you. So if you submit to another journal, imagine that the other journal can see here that this bibliography was with author, year, etc. I change the style, and then you've got author and you've got the year at the end. So I can change the style somewhere here, and I can choose another one. So you can see here that you've got this, and then you go, it's going to break down, I think, but doesn't matter. So this is a numbered in-text citation style, so it changed completely, and this can take a lot of time if you do it manually. So I hope I have convinced you about the importance of Zotero.